Who is it? Oh look, there's a spider for you. I just damaged his web a bit. Her web, madam. Spiders are always females, like you. Let's have a look what we've got down here. Broccoli, beans, kangaroo paws, other things. The remnants of an accident. Potatoes waiting to go in. It's in hospital, that one. Lots and lots of magic potions. Oh, there's the wife. Another experiment. Look at this. It's an air muffler. Yeah, this is the red flowering trees, similar to the big one, but smaller with prettier flowers. What are you doing?
Getting rid of mosquitoes.
Oh yeah, and that's what that's for. Stopping mosquitoes. These came out of there because I put this tree in there now and made it all smart. All this is from the tree down the road that was cut down probably about a year and a half ago, and it's started to compost really nice. So that's the other. That's a red-capped yellow flowering gum. And then we've got all new stuff down here, but it's not very interesting yet, apart from that one maybe. That's a cat's paw. This is the same as the one that was in the greenhouse last year, but it was pretty in the greenhouse, but it was very inconvenient. And obviously, if you look at the flowers, it's in the pea family. In fact, it produces little pods with things that look like peas in, but they're probably poisonous. And this is a bottle brush. The red. I don't think you've ever seen it flowering, but those are all buds. It's all covered in buds. It's going to come out probably in the next month or so. This grevillea down here. This is a local native one. It's in full flower. It's really crazy looking flowers. Look at that. It's brilliant. And every time I get down, I find something else that needs to come out. Oh look, this has died. I moved it there to see if it would perk up. It's perked down instead. Yeah, it's got one little bit of green on it. I wonder why, because I've only moved it from on the wall to here. I haven't had any success with them. Won't grow in the ground and they won't grow in pots. What is it? I've forgotten what it is. Nah, yeah. The thing, Protea, it's a Protea. There you go. There's a cactus, it's a little bit unwell there. Needs to be repotted. That big one's the original. And all of the others are puppies. Yeah, I repotted it about 4 years ago. It needs doing again. That was the first plant that we bought. That big one there, that's now loads of them. What have we got down here? Oh yeah, because it's cloudy and raining today, the flowers aren't open, but this is starting again. It's taking over this area. Some mandarins starting to ripen, but it's really difficult to keep the nutrients right on it. And then, you know what they are. And then, what this is now, this area's been overtaken by all of the natives that I'm growing in pots. Some of them just in preparation to go in the ground, and some of them will have to stay in pots because they won't tolerate the limestone in the soil here. There's all sorts of wonderful things. And this one at the back, unfortunately he's not flowering, but I have got one at the the end here that is flowering. Let's have a look at this first. That's a tea tree. It's just starting flowering now. The whole thing will be covered soon. It's a type of grevillea, a bit like that red one from the garden over there. It's funny, it's got spikes on the end of the leaves, so it irritates you if you touch it. This is one of my most expensive plants because it's a graft. There's the graft of. This is Verticordia oculata. The common name would be the feather flowers. Verticordia feather flowers. But it's grafted onto the root of that purple gelatin wax down the bottom there. That's the roots that it's on. And when it flowers it'll be amazing. But it comes from much further north in the subtropical areas where it's hot and wet a lot of the time. So it won't live here on its own roots because of the dry. And this is the one I said before, the blue flowers. Unfortunately it's not flowering over there, but it's really stunning, isn't it? And then this is a pink variety of the same genus, Leschenoltia. This is a Leschenoltia biloba, the most striking one, native to the hills just a few miles over east. There's a pink one. You know what they are. They're doing really well. It's just the usual vegetables, different cabbage, peas that have just been sorted out because of the storms we've had. A load of coriander. The first time I've ever been able to grow it because it gets stressed really easy and it just bolts. So that's perfect, that now. And then I've got all that coming up and all that, which is doing alright. And there's some sage, pineapple sage, I can't remember the Latin. There's really nice flowers. And then some garlic there. And the broccoli have been headed, but they're growing really nice side shoots. They're all doing it, so you get a meal off it. These are supposedly a way of trying to stop the butterflies, the cabbage butterflies, because they mimic the butterflies themselves, and they're territorial, so they don't like to go where other butterflies are. I need to do a controlled experiment to see whether it's actually working or not though. Well, I put them everywhere, they're really pretty, they're just white pansies. All the kale. And then this, which has been growing for ages, but I couldn't work out what it was from its leaves. It's a native, well, a daisy, innit? But I've forgotten what it is. I'll have to look it up. There's the other end, there's the gelatin wax I was on about with the roots. It's full flower now. Yeah, and there's the mandarin, the big one. Never does very well because it's always got competition from this massive tree next to it. This is well on the way to being done now. Just got the very top layer of rubble bricks on as neatly as I can, and then I'll just put a coarse sand in between all the gaps, and then roll the base and then compact it, and then it'll have tiles on top of that. But it's been so rainy and stormy I haven't been able to do it. There's the insect hotel, which is currently not occupied. Don't think it is anyway. And that, which has never been occupied, apart from some spiders. There's me stick pile, because the tree keeps dropping sticks and they're really useful for putting where you don't want little cats digging. I've got 3 compost bins on the go now because we produce so much. It's just got a potato growing out of it. Let's have a look in it. That one's the freshest. No, actually the big one's the freshest. This is the oldest. This one's, apart from some of the roots, look at all of the creepy crawlies. It's turning into amazing compost. There's the compost when it's done. It's got bits on it from the tree. And then this one, I got this from a woman at work who was a bit of a hippie like me. And it was originally meant to be worm farm, but they're a bit of hard work, so I couldn't be arsed dealing with all that. So I just put the tube in the middle, drilled, just to aerate it to help it decompose quicker, and then it's got holes in the bottom just for drainage. I did try and use it as a water butt up the top, but it must have a small leak in it somewhere because it would never fill up. That's my leaf mould pile. The bottom will just be turning into compost. And what's remaining of the potatoes after the storms destroyed them all, because they're very... Oh, there's another one gone. So I've got some more to go in. I mean, they were doing so well, but I'll have to stake them, I think, because when we get the storms here, they're so strong. It just knackers everything. That's where all them sticks are off the big tree. Big branches come off. That's called gailang. It's Chinese broccoli. When you buy it in the shops, it's usually yellow. This is white, and it's not growing the same. It's very sparse. It's meant to have a lot more leaves on it. And that's what I was on about with the sticks. I think that is turnips and kohlrabi. I really like the taste of the flat leaf parsley, like that one. It's a stronger taste than this one, but it's such an amazing looking plant. I'm just going to grow these, I think, from now on, because they look so good. I've got quite a few of them. These are just some natives I've got trying to build this area up the back. You can see they're all the outer leaves are ravaged by caterpillars, but they've got some nice heads on them now, really dense. Others coming through. That one's just starting. Been in for about 4 months. There's a lot of others coming up behind them, but it's hard to keep them on top of the pests. I've got some red bok choy there. Never seen it before. That's my disease-free, hopefully disease-free area for growing tomatoes in this summer, because there's too many nematodes in the soil and they just knacker the roots. That's kohlrabi. Oh, it's just starting to thicken up now. Look. There. Starting, and that behind it is loads of turnips, or Swedes as they call them here. You can just see the bulb forming. I've just liquid fed everything, so it stinks. You can see all the brown liquid on the leaves. Because it's raining all day and all next week, I can give it a stronger dose than I normally would, and it'll dilute it as it rains, so it properly stinks. That's my olive, which was about that big when I put it in, and now it's I think about 1.5 years. It's taller than me, it's quite a bit taller. It's another tree that's a Eucalyptus torquata, which will have pink flowers on it. And then down here, masses of nasturtiums. Every year they do this. They get huge leaves, massive amounts, and then slowly underneath the flowers start developing. You can see them under there. And then after a month or so, the flowers all poke out up the top. It looks really good. These must be an old variety that have been here for years and just keep self-seeding, because it's difficult to buy these trailing versions now. They're all, because they go out of control like this if you're not careful. And look at it, it just grows like mad. I've got to keep it away from everything. It performs amazing and it smells really good as well. There's the other lot. Tons of them. The flowers are really cool. Most of them are orange, but every now and then you get a very, very deep red one. It's almost black. Little cat. This is... It's just here, out of the way really, because it was up the top there where them trees are, but it needed moving. And there's so many of them. There must be a ton of rocks here. Only thing I could do was build a little dry stone wall with a little gate in it. So this area can get overrun with grass. These are two, an orange and a lime. I bought and had an intention of espaliering on the back fence and then changed my mind. So they're in pots, just getting their roots until I decide what to do with them. This started out as the blue garden, everything in it was blue, and I think it pretty much still is. Some of them are actually, it's a native, this one, Dampyera linearis. Yeah. And these are vincas that self-seeded from the soil when I had these planters up the top near the back door. These things are pretty cool. I can't remember what they are though. And there's some jasmine. Put it in a pot. It was originally at the front door and then at the back, on the back where the gate is. And now it's there. I'll try and grow up the tree. This last year was mint garden, and then over summer I had lettuce in it, which is why it's got the sprinklers. But now the mint, that mint there's just coming back naturally from some roots that I left in. You know, we planted about, well, every single mint that we could find in Bunnings, all of them. There was probably about 20 in. And yeah, there's loads of different types like orange and apple and mint, spearmint, peppermint, all that bollocks. Anyway, this one is berries and cream, and it's amazing. I just bought that one because it was my favourite last year. Probably never use it, but it's nice. That's the old peas that we've just digging into it, just slowly getting it ready. It's going to have a layer of hay over the top of it once I get the plants in. They're going to be just tomatoes and chilies, I think, maybe with some basil. Yeah. There's me thyme, which has taken me a few years to work out how to grow. You pretty much just grow it in sand. It's just the soil that we have here with just a tiny bit of compost in it. Anything more and it just dies. It likes really poor soil. Yeah, they've died every year, I've had them. That's the catmint. Got really tall, I cut it down, now it's growing back. Two ponytail palms that I got a few years ago, dead cheap. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. Same as that, the big one at the top there, it's one of them. This is my acacia, it's just about to go into flower. This is a proper native, this is native to this land before they built houses on it. There's me, the two rosemaries. This one's the better one, it produces a lot of oil, it almost feels oily, it smells really strong. I've forgotten what it is. It's one of them things with pink flowers on, I've forgotten the name of them. It's a philodendron. That's me bougainvillea, it needs feeding, look at that. There's some seeds coming up, got some rainbow chard at the back and then fennel just starting to come through there. This is my tropical garden, which always goes a bit dormant over winter, and I cut it back. So I cut it back really hard. These are all the bougainvilleas in pots. don't really know what to do with them. They grow crazy, but when they flower, like nothing else. That's a boysenberry. It's still alive, but I've never had any luck with it, so I'm going to repot it. This is my croton, which is usually a tropical feature plant. I give it enough water over the summer that it flourishes because it really likes the warm. Everything's gone a bit quiet. Things are a bit deficient because it's rained so much. The hibiscus at the back there, I just fed it because it's so deficient. The flowers have gone white. And that one as well, that one's not too bad. The flowers are just starting to come through, nice red ones. I had to take the banana out of the ground because I didn't think it liked the soil. There's Arthur's rose, cut back. It's already started regrowing though, so I'm going to have to give it a big feed. The climate's so mild over winter with the extra, well, with all the rain that we get. It makes things grow a lot earlier, so it's still in winter, but the roses are growing. There's bougainvillea. There's the thing in the corner. It's still got lights in it that light up at night. I've got to cut all that back as well. This is a lemon. It's been repotted. Much bigger pot now. There's a lime. That's my raspberry. Not doing anything yet though. It's in really fertile soil. You can see the nodes here that that's where it'll grow from. It's also one of the oldest plants. It's just a tiny little thing, about 8 years ago. Now it's huge. And this nearly died. It was around the corner. Never got watered enough. Now I have it here where it's on automatic watering. It's turned into a great big jungle thing. Same as these as well. They go a bit yellow over winter, but in the summer it's a curry leaf tree. Got two. That's my old one. I've had about seven years. This one a friend gave me. It was practically dead, and now it's my best one. It's amazing. There's a passion fruit. There's two. There's that one, and there's that one. But only the one on the right has flowered. So all this fruit here is actually the other one taking over. I'll probably take this one out and just let this strong one take over and move the other one somewhere else. Two different types. One's a yellow one, one's a purple one, and I'm guessing by the just starting to ripen fruit. Been on quite a few months, probably at least 4 months. Yeah, and it all looks a bit miserable over winter. There's me grape that I've cut back. There's the other grape. This is the red one, the other one's the white one. These are another thing I don't know what to do with because they're too dangerous. The spikes on them are shocking. They're really, really nasty spikes. They grow so well in there because it's like a desert plant. They grow so well. Even this, it just gets it gets burned by the sun low over there in the summer, and then doesn't like winter. It's looking alright though. It's better than not having it there. These things are in plant hospital, waiting for me to repot them, because these self-watering things, unless you've got something that really loves water down the bottom, they don't work very well. It's never done anything. I've had it for about 2 years and it hasn't done anything. Begonia, which is amazing. I just don't know how to grow them really. I don't know where to put it, indoor or outdoor. It's just other stuff that needs fixing. Because the 2 bookcases that we had around the corner got blown over in the storms, and a lot of stuff got smashed. So that's all the stuff on the table. There's what's left. It didn't get too damaged. This thing, bought this for $2 from a charity market. Needs feeding actually for that, because I have it where the drip comes from the hot water, so it's constantly wet. It's never dried out, and it grows amazing. Got all these seeds here. Could grow fresh ones. Wouldn't know what to do with them though. And there's the air conditioner that we got put in yesterday.